Hello and welcome to the first episode of Beer Gear. It's a Battle of the Beer playlist series where we talk about and review items that aren't necessarily what would fit into the normal Battle of the Beer genre, if you will.
Yeah.
So what we have for our first episode is Queen's Cup. Queen's Cup is a drinking game based on the classic King's Cup, but the Queen got tired of the King's rules, Jason, and she decided to poison him, and now we're playing by her rules.
Since there's 3 of us typically involved in Battle of the Beer for the most part, and we don't have any other friends, we only could get 3 people to play the game. Now, the recommended minimum is more towards 5, but be that as it may, we still had a very enjoyable time with that player size. And if you really want to find out just how pleasant that surprise is, you can actually go onto the channel and we have, for your enjoyment, I don't know what exactly, but it's there on YouTube, the entire playthrough. You can watch it all and just judge for yourself, really. Lucas, I touched on a few things. What did you really enjoy about Queen's Cup?
First of all, it's very simple to pick up and play. If you have some people who aren't really into like designer board games or anything like that, it's no problem here. Basically, you just draw a card and you do what it says. It's as simple as that. So, not difficult whatsoever.
You'd be surprised with some people, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say yes, just about anyone should be able to pick this up and play it, and drink and enjoy it. Building on that, I would say that if you're playing in a large group, this game is going to be great for it. I mean, the more the merrier. While we only had 3 of us, we still had a good time. And I mean...
It's very scalable.
Yes, very scalable.
Along with that, if you are playing in a large group and you don't know everybody who's in that group, this can be a great icebreaker because you're going to draw cards that kind of take you out of your comfort zone, but it's okay because everybody's doing it too. So it just ends up being a lot of fun and you get to know people in a way that you might not know them. I got to know you for sure, Jason.
And the last thing I want to bring up for the sake of the video is that we really enjoyed the design on the cards themselves and how that translated to how the game is played. You know, the artwork really fit what each card was, and it made it that much easier to understand. And hey, we are creative types, so we appreciate nice creative touches on something that's simple as a card game, because it could be very easy just to not really put forth an effort on that.
Yeah, you could just throw some text in there and it could get confusing, but there's icons in there that kind of let you know, oh, this is a send a raven text message card. Oh, this is the executioner card. You know, it's really easy to, once you get familiar with it, just to kind of know what it is intuitively.
Exactly. All right, so going on our dislikes, the one that immediately comes to mind for me at least is through the course of the game. I mean, in our heads, we're like, drinking's the reward, but in the course of the game itself, it's not really explicitly played out or stated is drinking a punishment in the game or is drinking a reward. There's cards that, for instance, like there was like the Knights battle. You guys had like you guys had thumb wrestle. The winner, I believe, the loser had to drink.
The loser had to drink.
But in other games that are, in other cards that are similar to that, the winner gets the drink. So, do you want to lose or do you want to win?
Yeah, you just get to choose somebody who does something you like and you reward them with a drink. So it can get confusing, definitely.
And like as we were playing, I was sitting there and I'm purposely not side drinking because I'm like, well, it's a drinking game. I shouldn't drink unless. So then there was like a span of like, it was like 2 turns. I'm like, well, I'm not even drinking anything. So now I'm like, well, it's a reward to drink. But then all of a sudden I lost something. Now you drink. And
Side note,
mixed message a little bit.
Side note, we found it really hard not to just keep drinking as we played anyway. So I think we tend to think of it as rewards. We might be a little bit biased on that. But going along with like what the cards tell you to do, there are a few in there that we found kind of slow down the game a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some where the idea is great, like to text somebody, hey, here's an update on my bowels or whatever, is funny, and that might not always take up a lot of time, but there's other things in there
like the social media stuff where you like have to post a picture with a hashtag and do this and
then we were like, well, let's just keep going. Like, there's no sense in waiting for this to go through so we can continue playing the game. But then there's other ones like the joke cards where you have to think of a joke. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't remember the last time I told a legitimate joke to anybody or heard a legitimate joke from anyone. So when it says, tell an offensive joke, that can really slow down the game because then you're kind of forced, like me, who I'm pretty sure I drew every single joke card there was.
You did.
I had to look something up because I couldn't think of anything on the spot.
Next point, I would say replayability. I don't know, like, at least the three of us, I don't think we're going to get together anytime soon and be like, oh, we have to play
Right.
again. It's just not, it's not that sort of game. But I think if, you know, if you had, we're bringing 2 or 3 new people around, like, oh, you need to try this. I think it's a good game that you would like introduce people to play, but I don't think it's something that we would specifically do. But as a counterpoint to that, I don't think we are exactly the intended audience
Right.
for this dude to counter that.
This game is definitely kind of marketed towards single people in their 20s, probably still in college, going to parties. You know, you might take the deck of cards with you just as like a, hey, let's everybody get drunk. And there's cards in here that kind of enforce this idea with things like kissing, you know, whoever draws this card, or I can't remember the exact whatever it was because we ended up taking those cards out.
I mean, there's just specific cards of a sexual nature that lead to that kind of mixing, that interaction.
Or like texting a booty call, you know, stuff like that, which it's fine. It's not like we're prudes about it or anything. It just doesn't work for us personally. We're married. We're, you know, 30 years old. We're not in our, you know, swinging heydays or anything. So it played fine still to take those cards out. It wasn't really, you know, that big of a deal. But if I was going to recommend this game to somebody, I would probably stick closer to that age range who can get together and play this game.
All right, so Queen's Cup. We drank from the cup. We played the game. Let's face it, if 3 middle-aged, boring men like us can play this game, married, and have fun with it, I think that's a testament that this game would carry over to anyone that's going to enjoy a drinking game. You know, I think we all went in with a certain level of skepticism, and I think we all came away like, wow, you know, I did not expect to have this good of a time. And I think we all immediately did that after our playthrough session.
So if this sounds like a game for you, or if you know somebody that you're looking for a gift to get them for Christmas, the holidays, birthday, whatever.
It's the ultimate stocking stuffer.
I was going to avoid that, but instead we just went right for it. Well, where can you get this? I'll tell you. This comes to us from buffalobeermug.com. They have this and some other beer-related things. And you can get it in 2 different varieties, Jason. You can just get the pack of cards, which is really all you need to play the game. But if you want to roll in style and look like a champion, you get the cup with it.
You need the full experience, the full Queen's Cup experience.
That's right.
You gotta get the cup.
So,
chalice.
What do you think, Jason? In closing,
I think it's a good buy.
Exceeding expectations. Thank you, Buffalo Beer Mug.